Greetings, I'm Oshintalita, an undergraduate student at the Department of Philosophy, Faculty of Humanity, Universitas Indonesia. I want to share with you my research, titled as Racist Habits as a Manifestations of Body Orientations of Racist Subjects in Indonesia, a critical study of Merleau-Ponty's body ontology. The ideology of racism is perpetuated by cultural, institutional, and individual aspects. However, the individual aspect that is often considered as the minor contribution is essential in perpetuating the ideology of racism. To understand the phenomenon as a whole, there's a solid unity that undermines the phenomenon's existence and continuity. So, these fundamental questions occurred. What makes someone racist? Especially, does racism exist in Indonesia? In fact, it does exist in Indonesia. History and media exposure records have proved that there is an indication of actualizing racism ideology, and that the main targets in Indonesia would be Papua natives, orang asli Papua, and Tionghoa ethnicity, which afterward will be the main focus of this research. The methods used for this research are descriptive analysis and phenomenology method. For descriptive analysis, the understanding of Merleau-Ponty's body ontology will be applied to the phenomenon of racism. Then the phenomenological method is also used to understand the essence and significance of the actual phenomena of racism. The phenomenological method is also used as an exploratory tool to understand a phenomenon by examining the subject's transcendental experience as being, in order to obtain the significance of the phenomena conditioned by temporality. As for analyzing the problems I've raised, I use Merleau-Ponty's theory, mainly focusing on body ontology notions, especially notions related to body schema, habit, sedimentation of experience, chiasm relations, reversibility, and flesh. From utilizes and apply these theories to the main problem, I come to analyze. Individual level racism occurs due to the embedded perception of imperial gaze in the subject's body schema, and then expressed body orientation in the form of racist actions and habits. Individual level racism is influenced by two factors: the subject's coexistence of the social world and the sedimentation of the subject's experience. The coexistence of the subject with its social world affects the orientation of the perception that its bodily capacity will actualize. Persistent prejudices in the subject's social world also contribute to the influence of racist subjects in perceiving racist targets. Prejudice against racist targets has been adopted as a perception of imperial gaze at the institutional and cultural level of the subject, so that the racist subject also participates in expressing it into a racist act and even a racist habit. The presence of the perception of the imperial gaze in the social world and the sedimentation of subject experience were catalyzed by the colonizations of Indonesia for more than 3.5 centuries. The influence of colonialism in Indonesia gives a perception that society has a hierarchy, and the hierarchy under the dominant order is unequal compared to the subject. The perception of imperial gaze is an internalization of the core of colonialism, namely paternalism, and is disseminated intergenerationally as a part of the body orientation of racist subjects. The assumption pinned by racist subjects to the body of the racist target affirm that the racist subject alienates the racist target from the subjectivity of the racist target. Assumptions that are imposed by force of this racist target violate the essence of the two modes of being and the body, namely, being in itself and being for itself. What a racist subject does to a racist target is the elimination of being in itself from a racist target. What the racist subject does is project its consciousness construct and ignores the projection of the racist target's consciousness. The racist subject sees the other, namely the racist target, as another thing, as a subject whose being is distorted due to the perception of the imperial gaze. The racist subject attaches a constructive being to its awareness of the racist target, which results in a distortion of the essence of the racist target. Racist targets who aren't supposed to be second-class subjects are made second-class, subordinated by racist targets due to the deliberate distortion of racist subjects. What causes racist actions to be actualized by individuals? The racist subject sabotages its own subjectivity by not acknowledging the other, which is the racist target, that the capacity for being for itself isn't recognized as a racist target. The racist target and the racist subject both share a flesh element, but it should be emphasized that both have different bodily experiences. So, by imposing the projection of a subject onto another subject, moreover, this projection is the result of the universality of the conception or construction. It's the way the racist subject eliminates racist target's being. So there are two conclusions that I have raised. The first, the historical context of the subject's socio-environmental relations is sedimented into the perception of imperial gaze, so that it's oriented into the subject's body as a non-intentionally activated racist habit. Second, suppose phenomenology, as Husserl once said, intends to return us to the things themselves. In this racism case, the perception of imperial gaze embedded in the subject's body schema and shows that the things are not pure themselves, but rather have been constructed and participated in discursive practice. Thus, when we try to understand a phenomenon that confronts us, we cannot put aside the intention of morality. So I think that's it for my presentations. Thank you for watching.